Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Orion Protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, starting off, we are on TradingView. This is the 4 hourly chart. We do have the fib set up from the all-time high at $30 all the way down to this swing low July 20th at $3.60. And on this large fib, we are currently holding the support of the 0.382, which is very good. If you're losing this support, then you're coming back down to this area that I have highlighted with this yellow rectangle, and that is your demand area. So this is where you're going to need to resupply and accumulate more Orion tokens before the move towards the upside, because there are a lot of indicators pointing towards a move towards the upside. Okay, so yeah, hold the 0.32 on this large fib. Now we do have a second fib setup from this swing low July 20th to this swing high August 12th. And if we just start zooming in a bit, then you can see that we have perfectly bounced off the 0.618 on this smaller fib. So this is the price tag just covering the 0.618 over there. This is the golden ratio, and this is where you usually end up coming back down after an impulsive wave, okay? So you're holding this very nicely. We do have our next target from after we break the previous swing high, which is $11.59. We do have a target at $15.93. That is the 1.272 on the fib, and this is the smaller fib that we have set up. The larger fib has the next target sitting right at $19, and this is where this strong resistance area is going to kick in. We'll talk about that later when we get there, but right now we want to focus on this support level on the 0.382 that we have. I just talked about that. We briefly went into this into this demand area, and this is where I think I gave you this area last video, from $7.40 to $6.50, and we just briefly got there. So if you did enter, great. And if you did enter from this support zone, then you would be potentially in profit. 30% trade basically, which is not bad in my opinion. It's good, but yeah, like I said, we lose this 0.382, we're coming back down to this area. Look at this 0.786, which is acting as a strong resistance area. That is $9.02, okay? This fib level over here acting as strong resistance. We can't really get through it, we're getting rejected back down. So potentially with some consolidation, we may break up, retest as support, and then continue onwards and upwards. And yeah, it does seem like we're going to get a bearish cross on the 4 hourly chart, which is quite negative, but we did have a nice October start, and I think things are only going to pick up from here. And we do have an end year target for, not an end year, but a bull market cycle top target for Orion Protocol, and that would be $111 right over here on this impulsive wave swing high. I do apologize, it is lagging a bit. So here, $110 on the 1.618 on this large fib, okay? And yeah, that's it for this chart on TradingView. Let's jump into the indicators. Now, jumping into the weekly chart, you can see that we are just below the 20 EMA over here, and this is a bit bearish. We want to get above the 20 EMA on the weekly chart and stay above it. We're not getting overextended from it, and once we start getting above it, hitting it as support, that's when we're going to see the move towards the upside, okay? So we do have another fib over here set up from this swing low. I think this is the same fib, actually, yeah. As you can see, we're holding the 0.618 wonderfully. Beautifully holding the 0.618 as support with 1, 2, 3 bounces towards this area. And if Bitcoin has a bit of a stronger correction, I do think we're going to end up coming back down here. But right now, what I would say is don't expect any major corrections on Bitcoin unless we get super bad news, because, you know, this is where things are going to start picking up towards the end of the year. Now, with the RSI, we're doing pretty well. On the weekly chart, we're almost forming a bearish cross on the MACD, which is a lagging indicator. So this would only have a bearish cross if we continue going down, and I think it might we yeah, we're pretty much almost in that bearish cross territory. So once we start going up, we're going to get the bullish cross, but that would be your confirmation. Now on the stochastic RSI, we have started coming back down a bit because the price has started coming back down a bit. And ideally, we want to see it come back down all the way here, but I think that would require a stronger correction. So what can happen if we start pumping on Bitcoin and all the alts in the coming weeks? We might do something like this and just get overextended over here, and that's where we see the move towards the downside. So don't expect us to come back here all the way down on the weekly chart just yet. So there's still a lot more profit potential, but like I said, not a financial advisor. Now let's jump into the daily chart. We do have some nice patterns playing out. Let's jump into the stochastic RSI, into the RSI, I do apologize, the relative strength index. So you can see that we are forming this some sort of descending triangle, and there is a nice support level over here as well below. You want to keep an eye on that level as well. That's where you may see a bounce coming forward if you lose this higher support level, okay? This higher support level has been very nice. Has been we have been adhering to it in the past, so you want to keep that in mind. And this upper resistance level may be something that we hit and get rejected off of it and come back down. Okay, so have this drawn out on your RSI. Very important stuff. On the stochastic, as you can see, we have these smaller waves, not enough steam, not enough bull power to get the RSI to the overbought on the stochastic formula. So hopefully, if we do have a little correction, we start coming back down. This is where you may end up buying. This is the oversold on the stock RSI. So this is where you want to be looking to buy. And obviously, dollar cost averaging is what I recommend overall. And if we take a look at the daily chart and we take a look at the volume, you do see this depleting volume over here. As you can see, it's coming back down, and usually when that happens, we anticipate some sort of a break. So as you can see over here, depleting volume, there you go, you get your break, right? Let's see if I can find any more of these over here. uh well, maybe I don't see any similar patterns like this right now, but you get the idea. You get depleting volume, and then that is followed by a break. So the volume is a very important indicator as well, because you want to see if there is substance behind the pump. If the volume isn't coming in, then that may be just a fake out and we're just gonna end up coming back down. So yeah, have all these indicators up. The MACD, we almost made a bullish cross. We got rejected, having that little squeeze over here with the moving average and the signal line below the histogram. So we're coming back down as of now. And if we take a look at the daily chart, you can see that we had this support line over here with multiple touches, and it did seem like we were going to hold it, but here, as you can see, we lost it. We found a level of support on the 0.618, like I said before, and we got back up, hit our head on the 0.786, and now we're holding $8.33, and that is a major support level that you want to keep an eye on. $8.33. If we end up losing that, then yeah, you're once again perhaps coming back down to this golden ratio. So have some buy orders at $7.4445. Okay. And yeah, obviously we want to break this resistance area at $9.05 and potentially come back down into this ascending triangle that we have over here and carry out that move towards $16 over here at the 1.272. Now let's jump into the 4 hourly chart, and just to give you some nice patterns to end the video with. So look at this, guys. What does this look like? I'll tell you what it looks like. An inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern. This would be your neckline. This would connect both tops, both peaks, and the pattern. Okay, and you get your target by taking a trend line, placing it from the bottom of the head all the way to the resistance line. And if you start breaking the resistance line, that basically puts you at this resistance level of the ascending triangle, basically, okay? So you're going to come back into this pattern and probably break out of it, which is the most likely thing to happen because ascending triangles are one of the, most reliable patterns that we have over here in charting, okay? So this inverse head and shoulders is really what's giving me hope, and hopefully if we can stay above this level over here at $8, then we're all good. But if we start coming back lower and we make a lower low, then that would invalidate the pattern because you cannot go lower than the head. This is the head. And if the right shoulder goes lower than the head, you're invalidating the pattern. And essentially what you're creating is a downtrend because a downtrend consists of lower lows and lower highs. Let me show you. Hold on a second. I apologize. So this would be your low, this would be another lower low, and this would be your next lower low, and that is bearish. That is something that we don't want to do. So essentially what you want to do is you want to stay within this support level of the previous swing low of this left shoulder, okay? Because if you break down below that, you're most likely going to bounce off of this support level of the head, and that would still be bullish because that would create a double pattern. But if you lose that, you're making a lower low, you're in a downtrend on the 4-hourly chart, okay? So keep that in mind. And the target from the head and shoulders pattern over here, $11.50. So have perhaps some buy orders because Orion Protocol usually does take out all of its targets. Historically, if you've been following the channel, if we have some sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern or an ascending triangle, we always carry out the targets and we come back down to find support. That's always happening. And on Orion, it happens more often than it does on other projects. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep this head and shoulders over here just so I remember about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If I missed out anything on the charts, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. Let me know what are your thoughts on Orion Protocol. That's all for me. I'm gonna catch you the next one. Goodbye and good night.